Good afternoon, Crap to Cream. So I've had a bit of interest shown in this engine test stand I'm going to be building. So I've started today and I'll let you see where our progress is up to so far. So this is what I've done so far. Now, if anybody out there is a professional welder or a coded welder, please don't look too closely at the welds. I'm not, so I am just, I don't think it'll come apart. So this is what I've done. So I'm building it for an 18V MGB engine. So I've got some steel work, which is like a patio channeling, I think. So that's what I've done so far. I put the wheels on, put two spinny wheels on one end and two fixed wheels on the other end. I'll just turn it over and then we'll continue to talk. Okay, I've turned it over now. So I've now put the engine support brackets on, and because this is a later 18V, I've cut slots so I can just drop the engine in, the engine mounts in, then tighten them up, so I don't have to worry about putting bolts through holes and things like that. So I can just leave them loose on the engine brackets, and then just drop the engine on. So yeah, we won't talk about the welding too much. But yeah, paint is a real good answer to welding. So this is now going to be where the back of the engine gets supported. So I've got to make that bracket next. So it's going to come up here. I've got to take the that support off the back of the engine and put the back plate on first, so that I get everything in the right position. That is in the right position at the back of the engine. And yeah, also I forgot about how hot the thing gets, and it melted away at your windscreen support. But anyway, so that's where I'm up to right now. I don't think any of this is going to come apart anytime soon, and I'll do another further update when I've got some more progress. So hello there. I've got to a point now where I have found some things that are important when you're doing this sort of thing. So I'll just go through a couple of points of reference here. So having the engine stand so it fits in between the engine hoist legs is important. So this is more by good luck than good fortune or anything else that fits there like it does, because I didn't measure anything and I just guessed. So that's important if you're having it at that height, either higher or lower. But then if you go lower, then you interfere with the wheels on the engine hoist. The other thing I found is about the exhaust manifold. So my original plan was to put this bar across the whole distance, across the whole length. So I was just using but then I thought I better put the exhaust on just in case. So as it turns out, the exhaust interferes with the so I will have to cut that now. So I put a piece in here to give that some support, and then I'll cut this and I'll put rivet nuts in there so that I can secure that to the back. And I think I've got enough room for a gearbox. Not sure. I'm going to put a muffler or some sort of silencer on the end of that. But yeah, and if you're going to put this in and you put new joints in here, new gaskets in here, then it's quite difficult to pull up straight away. So what I should have done is, I should have put this on this before I attached it to this, because I'm sure you'll be aware, if you've got an MGB, how hard it is to get to the nuts at the back here. Alright, so that's the exhaust on. Now I need to make another modification for that to suit. And then I'll weld that up, and then I can measure the distance now from here to there, so that the top of that matches that, and then a couple of short supports, and I'll get back to you when I have done that. So here we are, day 2. Got the engine now fixed to the stand. So we'll call this end of part 1, which is fixing the big bit to the new bit, which is the engine stand. So there you go. So that's how it looks. So I've got, hopefully got plenty of room here for the radiator and the control panel. Don't know whether to have them as 2 separate pieces yet or have them as one and combine them. Don't know yet. The battery's going to go down here in this corner down here. Exhaust there. I'm going to put a muffler on the end of that. So I'll put the stand on the back here now. Got a bit of clearance between it and the exhaust. I'll put these 2 bolts here. They are like halfway through those slots and they're M8s. I might put a little bit of rubber, insertion rubber underneath that yet, not sure, because that's a rigid fitting, whereas I've got rubber fittings here. So these are slotted so that you can lift the engine up and down easily, not messing around with bolts and nuts and bolts and stuff. So you can just drop it in place and then bolt it all up. Oh yeah, some of the welding is yeah, not perfect by any stretch, but I'm not a welder. So lesson learnt though, make sure the exhaust manifold and the exhaust are on when you're building this, because originally I didn't actually do it, but originally I was going to have this out to the end here, out to the sides, and just remembered in time that the exhaust needs to go past the bottom of the engine. So there you go. That's what it looks like for a starter. I've got the radiator over there, so I'm going to mount the radiator to a couple of verticals. It moves around quite easily. So there you go. Just, yeah, got the steering wheels on the front, so you can move it around. Push it where you want to go. All right. So onward and forwards. I'll release this and then I'll work out what I'm going to do with the rest of it. I'm hoping maybe it's long enough for a gearbox and I can put a gearbox mount down here somewhere. I haven't got any gearboxes, only got an engine, so I can't really trial it. But anyway, that's what it is so far. Alright, enough waffling. Thank you very much indeed for watching, for subscribing, for commenting. Any comments are willingly accepted. Try and make them constructive, which 99% of the people do. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.